Hello, welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my garden. It's Ferrari time. There's a new Ferrari right on the channel. Before we get into that, this video is brought to you with Squarespace. If you're thinking of creating a website, make sure you go to Squarespace first and foremost. From online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the perfect place to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Now, if you're looking to set up a website, be it a passion project or a business, Squarespace is the perfect place to go. And if you use the code on the screen right there now, you'll save some money when you do so. It really is your one-stop shop. They've got so many tools on there to not only build a beautiful website, but also a very effective one as well. They've got templates on there, SEO and PPC tools. They allow you to build a beautifully mobile optimized website super simply. And you can even create membership areas too. Those are just a few of the amazing benefits and super simple benefits available with Squarespace. Hit the link below, use my code, save some money, get creating, and let's go to Goodwood right now and jump in a new Ferrari. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 296 GTB. I'm at Goodwood today, and I'm filming in an extreme hurry because I'm getting out of here with this 296. More to come with where this car's come from and what on earth I'm doing with it very shortly. So what's it like to drive? Well, actually, if you want it to be, completely civilized. Right now, I'm in hybrid mode, which will pick petrol engine if you give it the beans, but mainly low speed, pootling around like this, right now, electric. It's kind of like being in my Tesla, except everyone's looking at me, and every now and again I need to use the nose lift. But other than that, it's pretty pleasant. Bumpy road setting on, and off you go. Very, very pleasant. But should you give it the beans, or click qualifying, you've got a completely different car. It's nuts. Now, when I first saw this car come out, I thought, my God, that is going to be terrible. It's hybrid, it's V6, and it just looked a bit piddly. It looked small, it looked just a bit pathetic actually, and I thought, here we go, this is Ferrari ruining everything, this is the way it's all gonna go. But I'm happy to report, I'm absolutely delighted with how it's come out. Ferrari have cracked it with this car. They made having a hybrid add to the car as opposed to take away. And that sound, that sound, it sounds better than the V8. It really does. It sounds better than my Pista. And I don't know how they've done it. There is a hint of Lotus Emira up towards the top end, and it revs so freely and so high. I think it revs to around 9,000 RPM, which is mental. You get a load of turbo whoosh in there as well, which isn't annoying, which doesn't take away from things. It just adds to the drama. It's completely bonkers, and I can safely say this feels like one of the fastest things I've ever driven. That is from a 720S owner, that is from a Pista owner. This thing is biblically fast. In a straight line, it might not have the speed of the SF90, but round kind of twisties and everyday use and kind of just fast road driving, I think it might have it in the bag. It just feels that little bit more nimble, feels that little bit smaller. It's actually addictive, the noise that thing's making. I don't know how they've got a V6 turbo hybrid to sound that good. Ferrari really have worked their magic with this car. These seats, they're fantastic. They're folding buckets, so you really can adjust them to however you want. I've got an appalling back. My L5 is completely shot to bits. I've got a prolapse disc, and I'm absolutely fine in here. I've spent hours. I've been to the Cotswolds. I've obviously been to Goodwood in it. It's a comfortable place to be. These are the Daytona racing seats, but they also do your standard racing seat, and they also do various forms of comfort seat as well. I would probably option these buckets. They're actually really, really nice. You just get a little bit of burble on the overrun. I think it's telling me I can't go down here. They do this. They do this with Goodwood. They close roads, but 9 times out of 10 you can just ignore that. The steering's that kind of typical lighter, fast steering rack from Ferrari. However, it's not as unnerving as it does feel like in something like the F12. It feels a little bit more Porsche-like, a little bit more direct, and there feels like there's a tiny bit more weight to the steering. It's absolutely perfect. I don't think they could have nailed this car anymore. The brakes are absolutely unbelievable. The gearbox is unbelievable. It's all just that step on from the pista. It's bonkers. As I say, this has got to be a car that has reversed expectations more than I think any other car ever has done. And I probably could be quite safe in saying that this, I think, is the best modern supercar on the market today. It remains to be seen when the Lamborghini Revuelto comes out. Obviously that's aimed at a different market segment. Obviously that's a V12 and not a V6, and that's £500,000 versus this, which starts at late 200s. Now they've bumped up the retail price, and with spec you're looking at early 300s brand new. This car here, I suspect, is starting with a 3. What do you really need on this? Well, having spoken to owners, I haven't driven the Assetto Fiorano pack, but I am told that it, oh God, that wasn't nice. I am told that it's a little bit too stiff for sort of B-road use. Roads like these, it's just a little bit too stiff. Carbon fiber wheels, they help the ride, they help the handling, but actually the stress of those, going through a pothole and replacing one of those, I think I would opt without. I think I would go for a base or normal setup suspension, and also the Assetto Fiorano pack allows you to not spec lift. The front of this car is quite high. I've not been using lift that often, but I would still go for the standard car, not the Assetto Fiorano pack, unless I was tracking the car endlessly. And if I was, I'd probably just get a 992 GT3 RS or a 991.2 GT2 RS. You get the idea. I get a Porsche GT product as a track car. I would not buy a Ferrari as a track car unless it's a challenge car. Oh God, here we go. Do you know what? These roads round Goodwood are a nightmare. They are an absolute nightmare. I've just been stuck in a single track road for about 45 minutes with tractors and all sorts of nonsense. Every single year I follow Waze and it just takes me through the... It really is a complete nightmare. But like now, when you're sat in a traffic jam, you switch it into hybrid and off you go. Thank you very much. I totally forget with this car that it has hybrid all the time, and then when I switch it in, it's like getting your hearing back. It is quite loud. On idle, it's loud. It really is probably one of the loudest cars I've heard out of the factory these days. I don't know how Ferrari have done it. Maybe they've fuddled the stats because you can make it silent every now and again, but it's absolutely brilliant. It does say you've got 15 miles of range. You can plug it in to top that up, but actually the thing does charge itself as well. So it'll charge itself as you go along. So actually I haven't been plugging this in, which is all very helpful because I could do without more cars to plug in on a daily basis. 15 miles of range doesn't sound like a lot, but actually every now and again you do get a burst of traffic or anything like that, and it actually is more than enough. So should you buy one of these then? Am I going to buy one of them? I would quite like one. I think the price at the moment is a little bit punchy. I do think potentially, particularly the coupes, money might fall out of them. I know people are jumping from the GTBs into the GTS, which is now starting to come out, and I know a lot of people are just buying them to get on the list for the spicy stuff and the spicy variant of this, the Speciale version or whatever they're going to call it. So I do think a load will end up on the market. I do think they'll soften off quite a bit. And if I was going to buy one, I'd try and catch them in that sweet spot where the depreciation has happened, but they're still within their warranty and their servicing pack. I don't fancy one of these things out of warranty, and I don't want to pay for the servicing either because I just don't know, longevity wise, how well these things are going to last. I think realistically their reliability on the whole has been okay compared with that of the Artura, which has been plagued with issues and a load of them have gone back. So I do think this is probably the more reliable bet, but it's certainly not a car that if I did buy I would hold on to for 10, 20, 30 years because I just don't know where all this tech is going to end up in the coming decades. I don't know whether or not this will just be disposable. It's not the sort of thing like with the Testarossa where you can just fix with some cables, some wires and a few parts that, you know, someone can make. this is basically just an iPad, and whatever I think of it now, in 10 years time, this is going to be super, super old tech. So I don't know whether or not it'd be a long-term buy, but it is something I'd love to buy for the garage. Wouldn't buy it in red. I'd probably get it in black, blue posi, a dark green, a dark red, or a brown, but I wouldn't get it in a kind of red with a crema, rosso with crema. Anyway, a massive thank you to my friend for lending me this car. Make sure you click the link in pinned comment to support the channel, support me, and it enables me to engage in more nonsense, shall we say. There is a new daily coming to the channel, the likes of which no one's probably seen. No one in the UK on YouTube has ever had one, or is even talking about getting one. It is absolutely mental. Don't let the word daily put you off. It's not an RS6. All right, cool. For now, I will see you all very, very soon. Ciao.